Hi, I'm Katie from What Katie Did and welcome back. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about our Arlena dress. Most of the clothing in our collection is inspired by vintage pieces that I've had in my wardrobe for up to 25 years and are unfortunately too well worn and too damaged to wear anymore. So the whole dress collection came from selfishness, really, that I had grown to love all these pieces so much and I still wanted to wear them. So that is basically where most of our dresses come from, and Arlena is a bit different to that. I actually found the original dress in a vintage store called East West in Chinatown in Los Angeles, and the condition of the dress was really, really good and the pattern for it was amazing. But the dress was it really was in pristine condition. There was no reason to be inspired by it other than I really liked the design. So the original piece had an amazing print, and I am looking at being inspired by the print. But to begin with, we just made it in claret rayon, and the claret rayon is a deep red, and it doesn't match exactly with our claret seam stockings. The claret seam stockings are slightly darker, but it's a pretty close match. If you have a look on our website, you'll see that this dress actually looks a little bit lighter, whereas in reality it is pretty close to our claret seams. It's made from rayon and the skirt is cotton lined. It doesn't need any particular lingerie to go with it. You can wear this with any bra, although it would look amazing with a bullet bra because it is inspired by the 40s and 50s. The skirt is cotton lined, and one thing I found when I was trying on the samples of this is I did have a ridge cause my corset around the hip. So what we did is we added a cotton lining which minimises any wrinkles around the hip. But what we did do was when we photographed it on our model is that we put her in one of our Dixie girdles, and I would really recommend wearing this piece with a Dixie if you do get a line around the hip, because it really smooths out the line and gives it a smooth finish. The skirt is slightly A-line, which makes it easy to walk in because it's always I walk a lot and I enjoy dancing, so I want something I can move in and have fun in. So it's made so you can move in it, but it is cut slightly tightly over the hips, which means that if you don't wear the right underpinnings or your hips are slightly bigger, you might get an underwear line here. So I would recommend wearing it with an open bottom girdle, even our corselet, just so you have a super smooth line under clothing. The original version of this dress had a zip fastening at the side, and I have a love-hate relationship with zips, especially zips at the side. I've found that reproduction vintage, quite often the zip gets stuck halfway up and then suddenly it goes up and it pinches your skin and it's a major ouch. So this time with our dress, we've put buttons up the sides. Of course, buttons were more commonly used in the 40s, so that's another feature which is period correct. They are slightly fiddly to do up, but just, you know, a zip is also fiddly to do up, and I can tell you that they don't hurt when you pinch your skin. You're not going to pinch your skin using a button, so that is why I've used buttons. I'm not aware of anyone else using buttons in this fashion for repro vintage, so you'll have to let me know what you think, whether you would prefer a zip or whether you like the buttons. I personally prefer the buttons, but if you let me know, we can do a vote on it and see what you guys think. Just like all our clothing, this dress, our Arlena dress, is hand wash. We find that if you hand wash something, you're more likely to look after it, and if you wash it separately, you don't have to worry about the dye running or anything like that. So we're looking at making fashion items that you'll turn to again and again, that will last and stand the test of time. As I said before, that the vintage pieces I've worn, I've been wearing them for up to 25 years, and it's only now that they're beginning to fall apart and showing their age. So I'm hoping that our dresses will last just as long as their vintage originals. I should point out to you that our Arlena dress is quite long, And this was something I thought seriously about when I was sampling it, because it was slightly longer than we'd expect dresses from the 40s or 50s to be. And I was thinking, should I chop a bit off? And in the end, I decided to make it the same length as the actual original. I mean, if it was good enough for someone in the 40s, it's good enough for us. But again, this does come down to feedback from you. As I said, I was thinking about taking a little bit off. If anything, I find vintage repro clothing is slightly too short, so maybe you'll be happy having a longer length. It might be that moving forward we do need to take a couple of inches off. It might be moving forward that we need to offer 2 lengths. But please if you try this dress, please get back to me and let me know what you think, because we can change it and anything is possible. It's very, very early days for our range of dresses. So if you do have any questions or you have any comments, please get in touch and I'll catch up with you soon.